Cottage Kids on a very cold January day. This is the 19th of January for episode 3 of the Lakeview Cottage Kids podcast. And I welcome you. You can see I'm kind of snuggled in. I'm wearing my wizard shawl. I love this pattern. It is one that I like to wear a lot. It just keeps you really snuggled in. It's a triangular shawl pattern. Turn my camera down a little bit. I love the colors. This was a cake of different color changes. So all you have to do is keep following along. You don't have to do any changes yourself. And I just love this particular one, and it was Wizard Yarn, and it worked out beautifully, and it's perfect on a day like this when it's 7 degrees outside. So anyway, again, welcome to the episode 3 of my podcast. And today what I wanted to start out is kind of bring together a few ideas that I was talking about in episodes 1 and 2. Number 1 being I'm trying to stay organized. I'm tending to think that a lot of you are doing the same thing, and it is working out. I'm loving using my journaling techniques and my special little notebooks. As you remember, I have my Yarn Makes Me Happy notebook. I've got my notebook that's called Just a Thought, and I've been using that. And they're each for specific things. One is for talking about classes that I'm teaching, others for my podcast, others for keeping track of my projects that I'm doing. I want to talk about that a little bit later too, about keeping track of what you're doing. So at the end of the month or the end of the year, you can kind of look back and say, whoa, I really did do a lot. Or maybe, oh, it was good that I took a break. So anyway, but I've been staying busy and I've been staying organized. I've also been working on what I was talking about last week, which is that whole concept of hygge, which is spelled Hygge, the Danish word for looking for contentment in your life and the joy of living and being with the people that you want and doing the things that make you feel happy. And so I gave some suggestions for that. Of course, that's what we're all doing, but sometimes our life gets so busy, it's hard to find time to just kind of find happiness and joy and do the things we want to do. But I had mentioned last week that I was going to do some things outside and with my husband, who I want to be with more all the time in our retirement. So we did go on our wine tour, shopping, and sleigh ride trip last Saturday. Went from 9 o'clock until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was lovely. I put a post about this on my blog at lakeviewcottagekids.com, and I'll put a link to that below the video. But it was great, and I described it there, and I have pictures of what was going on, but I'd just like to go through briefly what we did, and it really was a joyful day and a fun day, and we loved every minute of it. What it was in our at Door County, and it was a beautiful day. It started out kind of snowy, and the day before had been quite windy, but we lucked out. The snow was not bad, and it actually turned out to be a sunny day, even though the temperature was around 10 most of the time. But we bundled up. I got out all kinds of different hats and cowls and scarves and things that I've made, and and my husband was wearing his scarf that I made him, and he was all bundled up. So the 10 degrees really didn't affect us at all. It was great. So we started out from our house at about 9 o'clock, and the weather kept getting nicer and nicer. Again, there was a lot of snow on the ground, actually, probably about 8 or 9 inches. So we knew that we would have a sleigh ride as opposed to just a wagon ride. And we got to a place called Door County Trolley. And I've got pictures on the blog that shows the trolley that we rode in. We had about 28 people on our trolley, and our driver was Brian, and he was just great. So informative and so friendly, and made everybody just feel so comfortable. So anyway, we left the trolley station with our Bloody Marys in hand, and we went to an area that is called the Red Oak Winery, and it was great. We had flights of 4 different wines and tried that. 2 of them were particularly great, and I talk about those a little more on the blog post, but they were wonderful. And we also got a chance to go to next door, the Door County Coffee and Tea Company, which sells coffee and tea all over the country. So you may have seen them before. They have wonderful coffees and teas, and they even have a little snack shop there and other kinds of gift shop items also. It's really nice. And then they have the Door County Candle Company, which is really nice. They do all of their candles in-house, and the smells of those are beautiful. And if it says it smells like lilacs, it does. If it says it smells like brownies, it does. And so it was fun to go there. After we were there, we got back in our trolley and we went to our sleigh ride. And you'll have to see the picture of our driver. He does look like Santa. And it was great. The horses were wearing their jingle bells, and it was lovely. And we went through the apple and cherry orchards on the farm and also through the vineyard part of their farm. And it was great. After that, we shopped a little bit more, and then we went to our delicious lunch at a place called the English Inn in a little village called Fish Creek. And our French dip sandwiches and cherry pie and ice cream was delicious. So anyway, and then we came back after going through a few scenic overlooks and got a chance to take pictures there, and ended up about 2:30 back at the trolley station. It was a wonderful day, and definitely we found joy and contentment in all the activities that we did. So that was a report back, and you can check out the pictures of that on my blog post. And again, I'll put the blog down on the below the video here so you can see it. Now, I also mentioned last week about how crochet fits into all of this, and how much fun it is even to do very basic projects and give them to people, make them for yourselves or give them away as hostess gifts, birthday gifts. And I had mentioned that I wanted to give the very simple directions to doing a single crochet dishcloth / washcloth out of 100% cotton. And so on my blog, there's also the directions for that. And as I mentioned also, that I wanted to give out recipes so that you can be making some really easy, quick, and delicious items and food recipes here in the winter, and then we'll go toward more spring recipes later on. But right now on the blog is the recipe for chicken mulligatawny soup, which is a variation of chicken vegetable soup, and it does not take a huge amount of time to make, and it is very simple and delicious. So please check out the blog. I think you'll find it interesting. I wanted to talk next about some of the things that are on my hook at the moment, some that you've heard about before, and others that I'm working on, new projects that you haven't heard about just yet. I know most of you know that I love making hats, particularly children's hats, but what I'm working on at the moment is a number of pattern ideas, one that'll be coming out in February, but there might be some before that too, but more mommy and me type of hat projects, beanies. And so anyway, I have some that I've been working on. This one for obviously the younger infant, and here's for their mom. I'm working on that, but I also, and I've mentioned that before, and I've also mentioned that I've got a few other patterns that are being worked on. So they're all turning out so cute. I'm loving them. But I'm working on some brand new patterns for the beanies for mommy and me. So if you like those for mommy, for the baby, or for both, or for anybody in between, keep listening, because I will have a number of those patterns available very soon. Other things that I have on my hook at the moment is I'm working on a number of things with corner to corner, and I'm actually going to be offering a class on, and I'll give more details of that next week. but I am working on some corner-to-corner beginner projects so that you can really get the hang of that if you haven't done it before. And if you just like corner-to-corner, but you don't really want to do anything that's too involved, I have a number of them. And as you know, a lot of people have loved the Afghan. I mentioned it in the episode 1, the one that's used Bernat Softy Baby yarn, and the pattern is so beloved by people, and the orders for the ready-made blanket are coming in all the time. So I thought, you know, people love that yarn. So what I did was I'm making a corner to corner. Looks pretty Eastery at the moment, but it's a beautiful, the yarn is beautiful. It's so soft, and this is such an easy pattern. It's going to be a regular corner to corner square blanket, I think, and I'm working on it at the moment. And then it's going to have a border all the way around, maybe a couple borders, but very easy, great way to learn corner to corner, and a great great project in the winter. So we're going to be working on that. As I mentioned in episode 1, I'm also working on a corner-to-corner blanket made of multiple squares and then crocheted together. And I'm still working on that, been making my squares. As you know, I have making it with the blue. Here's a number of the blue ones. Blue will kind of be the dominant square color, but then it also has the pinks and the lavenders and some aqua, and there will be white that's going to be used to put it all together. And I mentioned it before, but I'm getting closer, and then next week I hope to have it all done and the pattern ready to start tweaking and getting all ready to offer. But that one's going to be a little bit more involved than the one using the Softy Baby yarn. This one's using the big twist yarn, and again, this is really soft too. It's a little bit heavier, and so it'll make a little bit bigger blanket for us, but I think it's going to be really nice. So that I've been working on, and a little bit bigger project, so it's taking a little bit longer. Plus, I had to go on a sleigh ride and do stuff like that too, so I didn't have as much time devoted to it this past weekend. So that's that. I will be, as I said, I've been working on the Mommy and Me patterns. I've been working on the blankets. I've been, as one of my goals this year, I would like to do one blanket pattern every month. And so I'm hoping that that will happen. And I'm also working on some classes that go along with that. So stay tuned. Should be good. I'm excited about it. And I'm thinking of even doing some live crochet alongs on some of the blanket patterns, which are really fun. They're fun for me, and they're certainly, I think, enjoyable for the participants. And you get a new pattern, and you get to talk to people, chat with people as we go along. So again, lots of things coming up. One exciting thing that I wanted to share with you on air right here is the opening up of a new package of yarn that I just got from Mary Maxim. And as you know, that's a website where you can order all kinds of lovely yarns and kits and all kinds of things for crochet and knitting. But they are giving me some yarn to try out for some of my projects, and I am going to use the yarn that I just got delivered on Monday, and I haven't opened it yet. So I thought I would open it up right now. I'm going to use it for a blanket, and I wanted to have that while I was doing my podcast so you could see what it is. It's kind of exciting, I think. Hopefully it turned out the way I want. So I've got my great big bag, and see if I can get this open without too much craziness. And first off, this one, ooh, pretty, pretty. This one is called Mary Maxim Super Soft. And again, these, I'm going to pop the bag open. When I put in my order for this, I was trying out some new yarns, And this one is called Summer Sky, Mary Maxim Super Soft. Beautiful. 72% acrylic, 28% polyester, 350 yards, and it's a number 4 weight. Really pretty. Ooh, so soft. I was thinking I ordered things just for blankets, but I think this is going to be a great cowl or scarf. So that's 2 skeins right there. This one is the one that's going to be a blanket. And this one, again, I'm in the mood for the Eastery looking colors and the spring colors. This one, I've ordered a number of skeins. This is a number 3 weight. And let me pop open the bag. This one right here is kind of another kind of version. It's reminiscent of the Softy Baby by Burnett. And this one is Mary Maxim Sugar Baby. And this one's 100% acrylic. It's actually a number 3 weight. And it feels more bulky than that. Super soft. And can't wait to get going on that one. I think I see some blanket and hat patterns coming from these. I ended up getting 7 skeins of that one. So I can do lots with that. And in my great big Mary Maxim bag, I also ordered these, get them all in the picture, the white, the darker rose, and the lighter rose. And these happen to be called, let me see, this one is called Starlet Worsted Weight by Mary Maxim. And again, a number 4. This is 100% acrylic. It's a heavier worsted, and it's really, again, really soft. I was really focusing on my request with some really soft, springy, Valentine's Day inspired kinds of things. So we'll see what comes out of this. I'm picturing some kind of a scarf, I think. We'll see. And again, I got this color is Pale Petal Pink. And then this one is, let's see, Petal Pink. So we have Pale Petal Pink and Petal Pink, and then white. So again, exciting. I love opening up packages and seeing what's there. So anyway, that just came on Monday, and I saved it up so that we could record that and see it being opened here. So that's what I need to start working on. Well, one of the last things I want to talk about today is just a reminder, and again, I don't want to belabor the point, but every day new patterns that are coming out are so great, and those are related to the blog hops happening over at Cozy Rosie UK until January 31st. Free patterns with the coupon code, so check out my blog post on my blog, and you can get there and then follow the directions to getting your free pattern each day. If you've missed some, or you just want them all right at once, remember there's a link there so that you can get the bundle and you'll have them all delivered to your mailbox right there, digitally ready to go. Also, there's the one at Eclair Makery going till the 31st also, and that's another sets of free patterns with the coupon code every day until January 31st. And also another ongoing one is over at Madame Stitch, and that one goes till the 24th. So again, be sure to check my blog so that you get the links to going to all of those great patterns. The ones at Madame Stitch, at her Crochet for Me blog hop, those are with a coupon code for 50% off. So that's some fun stuff going on there. Finally, wanted to just mention that following through on my recipe that I was focusing on this week that I want to tell you about, and it will be showing up on my blog in the next day or so, and that is for the berry crumble. And this one can be made with any kind of berries. You can actually make it with peaches too. But this one is a lovely dessert. And it turns out that you make a very simple batter, a thicker batter. Put that on the bottom of your pan, and then you put your fresh or frozen berries on top and put it in the oven for about 45 minutes, and the crust bubbles up between all of the berries, and you serve that warm with ice cream or whipped cream for dessert. It's super great. So anyway, I will be including that in my information on the blog regarding episode 3. So please look for that. So that's a little bit about the recipe. I thank you for watching this week's episode of Lakeview Cottage Kid Podcast. And if you have any questions or comments or suggestions for what you'd like me to talk about, I would gladly accept those, certainly. And again, you can put your comments down below here in the YouTube, under the YouTube video, or you can put them under the blog post on my blog. And if you make any of the things like the crochet dishcloths, take a picture, put it in the post, the comments, or put a hashtag on it and put it on Instagram. And the hashtag, I explain all of that in the blog posts of we'd all love to see if you're making the dishcloths, if you are doing the recipes. Hey, take a picture while you're making it, or after it's all made and you're ready to just have that for dinner or for dessert. Also, I look forward to seeing any kind of projects that you're making, and if something kind of catches your fancy, for example, if you're interested in the pattern for making this wizard shawl, be sure to check that out in my Etsy shop or in my Ravelry shop, and make it whatever beautiful colors or beautiful yarns that you choose to. I think you'll really like it. Also, you may have noticed that the hat and small cowl that I was wearing, along with my very large scarf when we went on the sleigh ride, the hat is called the Snow Day hat, or Snow Day beanie, and the matching Snow Day cowl. And those patterns are on my in my Etsy shop and my Love Crafts shop. So if you are interested in those, take a look. They are fun patterns, and they worked out great. So very quick make, and they turn out so cute. So that's it for episode 3. Have a good week. We'll talk to you next week. This is Chris at Lakeview Cottage Kids.